Hello, everybody. A word from Jesus. When God says he will be exalted as the Lord thy God above all thy nations, guess what? All nations choose not to honor him. Uh, why did America get blessed? Because it was smart enough to dedicate its country and its founding fathers to put we have in the Constitution, we have unalienable rights given to us by God, not by the government. That came from people who believe in God. They dedicated this country to God, and it was blessed. 1968, it lost its way with the fake the Gulf of Tonkin false flag in Vietnam. That was the first how we started it. Then we took prayer out of school, Lyndon B. Johnson in '68. Then he took issued the pastors this 501c3. That's why all pastors in the United States, you suck. Okay, you signed the 501c3 tax ID number. You sold your congregation out. You sold America out because you can't preach what you want. You sold Jesus out. Get back, come back because the church is needed in America now more than ever. Pastors, tell President Trump they got your ear. President Trump goes to Bible study every day. Say that you're not allowed to preach what you want on your own pulpit because you can't preach against pornography. You can't say that parents belong to the children instead of the state. You can't say to obey God over the government. You can't preach against the Department of Education. You can't endorse any certain political candidate. Guess what? You just made the American government your God. Give back that 501c3 tax ID number. Tell Trump to take it back. He'll do an executive order, and then you're free to preach what you want, and then you're not having this devil has an oath with you. Because if I sign a certain paper that I'm going to appear in court at a certain date, guess what? Upon my signature, I will have a warrant for my arrest or I will appear. Upon the pastor's signature of that 501c3 agreement with the government, you just made the government your God. Everything you preach from the pulpit is just Christian babble. The devil could read out of the Bible. So is America a Christian Judeo nation? Yes. Does it deserve a second chance? Yes. Was Israel given many second chances? When Israel would serve the Lord, he would bless them. When they would turn from him, he would have the Persians and other, Palestinians invade. I don't know if it's Palestinians, sorry, but it would cause Israel to be invaded and occupied until God took the punishment off them and decided to give them another chance and tell them that I am the Lord thy God. You're going to honor me or you're going to have trouble. Well, America honors God. Trump honors God. His whole cabinet goes to Bible study. His whole entire cabinet is Christian. I haven't seen a more capable cabinet. Trump America has a cancer. It was losing its place. We were going to almost have a war with China. We're having an AI race with them. We had the worst administration in the history of our country in. We have half our judges in America hate America. The Democrats hate America and because they have Trump derangement syndrome and they're fighting us in every single thing. We're coming to a constitutional crisis. We can't coexist with the left anymore. Do you notice in Congress the right can't get along with the left anymore? Every vote they either vote all Republican or all Democrat. That has gotten bad, and the left will not give up their ideology. But you do not apologize for being a Christian Judean nation. And remember, I am the Lord thy God who teaches thy hands to war. Be still and know I'm God. Psalms 46, read it. It's all about war and God blessing Israel, saying, you're going to go into battle, but I'm with you. I'm the Lord thy God. Do not be dismayed. Do not fear. I am with you in battle. David was a warrior. Now, did Jesus come and say, hey, this is the new forgive your pray for your enemy? Yes. But is civil disobedience okay? Yes. Because remember, Peter, James, all the apostles, disciples died egregious deaths from not stopping to preach Jesus. Well, they were instructed by the government to stop, but did they stop? No, because they knew it was right. Is Trump his continuing with him with his agenda? We have 25 illegal immigrants in our country. We can't sustain that. They have flooded. We're going bankrupt. Medicaid, Medicare is going bankrupt. The fraud, the trillions of dollars the Biden administration was shoveling out through the globe. The Pentagon lost $7.9 trillion. We still don't even know where that went. But the money that AID was shoveling out to the globe for all these transgender in Pakistan, you get $60 million, or I mean, it was totally insane. And guess what? Our schools, we don't apologize for being white. We corrected slavery. We had a black president, a black vice president. So, give me this crap. Are black neighborhoods more impoverished than white neighborhoods? Yes. Is that something that social programs that need to come, and more, basketball, baseball, more education on how finance really works, on how the globe really works, on how AI is the future of the next 5 years. Who obtains the race on AI? We need three times the amount of energy to compete with AI. China wants to declare war on us. They hate us. You have money coming in from Qatar that's invaded. All our schools are now on the Sharia law. They hate America. They're being taught to hate America. Who teaches you to hate your own country? This is the only country you have. We're not gonna tear it down and remake and throw all the whites out and let all the immigrant have all different nationalities except white in here. Sorry, ain't gonna happen. We're 60% white and we're a Christian Judeo nation. You're welcome to live with us, but you're not gonna change our Christianity, and you're not gonna change America. And you don't teach sexualize our children. We don't want transgender, critical race theory, DEI. That's reverse racism. We're not with that. We're trying to move forward from the 21st century into not overspending so we don't lose our reserve currency, which we're almost about to lose now. We have 1.7 million people died in the wars in Israel and Ukraine. And guess what? Over from 1939 to 1941, when Poland was invaded, 1.7 million people weren't even killed. So we're having a good start on World War III. Trump's trying to put all these wars out. And then Iran has threatened to nuke and wipe out Israel. So how does a Christian deal with that? Tell me, if you're a Christian, oh, just pray for the enemy. Just let them nuke Israel because they're the little Satan. We're the big Satan. And they've swore that if they got a nuke, the first thing they were going to do is launch it and wipe out Israel. This is what their own Ayatollahs are swore, right? So we can't let them get a nuke. If somebody comes to harm your family, you have a Christian duty and responsibility to protect your nation, to protect your nation, because God is concerned with all the nations. He speaks of all the nations of the earth. This is the nation you have to protect. Can you make your nation better? Yes. Have we lost our way and we're getting ready to seriously pay for it eternally? Yes. Did God give us the second chance with Trump? He almost got shot. You can see the divine hand of God on President Trump. Wake up, church. Get your ass out of the pew, okay? Because we are allowed to protect our nation. We are allowed to protect our families, and we are allowed to protect ourselves and our property. It's in the Constitution, and that was founded by our Christian founding fathers. No other document gave the freedom. Listen, no other country in the world gave the freedoms America gave. Countries never heard of it. We uplifted many countries out of poverty, built you know built wells in their country for fresh water. We give money to all over the globe, but listen, we're not the piggy bank of the world, and we're not the unfair trade of the world. So Trump's got to deal with trade. He's got to deal with Iran. He's got to deal with the Middle East, with trying to stop that is the war, and what to do with all the 2 million people in Palestine. He's trying to get Hamas to give up the hostages. He's trying. Okay, he's trying to make peace there. He's trying to make peace between Russia and Ukraine. But why should Russia make peace with us after what we did? We've been demonizing them since 1989. And Trump is trying to tell Putin, let's be friends, let's trade, let's build your economy up, our economy up, because success is the best way to serve. When you're serving the Lord and you're doing the right thing by God, and have your right thoughts in your head, not misguided thoughts in your head. Oh, this is what the Bible says, to submit myself to governing authorities. Yes, if they're not immoral. Teaching DEI and transgender is immoral. We don't want our college campus is immoral. We want them moral. Okay, if we're going to teach a religion, it's going to be Christian Judeo values, not Sharia law, not free Palestine from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. That means to annihilate Israel. The Antifada. That means it's a war against Western civilization. They can't chant these things and burn American flags. And our professors teaching this, and our courts fighting Trump on every sense. God is concerned. He says, I will perfect that which concerns you. He is concerned about our nation. He is concerned about our borders. He is concerned about your home. He is concerned about you and me. He is patient with you and me, but he's not a patsy and a genie. And God, you have to do a certain amount of work. He used to tell David when they go into battle, like Psalm 46, it says, I will teach thy hands to war. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that you're not God. Thank God that I am not God and you're not God. Thank God, because our brains can't run the entire earth. And remember the spiritual battle that's taking place constantly for your soul and for they hate America. Remember, all the forces that come against America, they hate it because it's a Christian nation. Jesus said, they have hated me first and they will hate you also. You are to be hated. Eventually, we're to be persecuted. But right now, we're trying to get our country back, and our division in our country hopefully doesn't come to a civil war because we've already had one. Look at Germany, this anti-Semitic behavior on the campuses, the hate for Jews. They just executed 2 Jews in New York City outside, one of the Jewish centers. It was a couple weeks ago. They executed those two people. Mangione, when he killed that healthcare worker, shot him in the back, was hailed as a hero. This is who people hail as a hero in putting up GoFundMe pages. They hail as a hero the people that executed the Jew because he chanted free Palestine." Well, you know what? You don't even know about what's going on in Palestine. If you went to Palestine, you would be, as an American citizen, even before it got bombed, you would hate it. They would hate you. They might hang you and nail you to the first four-way intersection telephone pole. They're beheading Christians Syria and a lot of these Muslim nations. They're in Iraq, Afghanistan now. They're going after Christians and beheading them and crucifying them and torturing them. In China, you can't have the Bible anymore. Why all of a sudden 10 years ago 12 years ago did China take the Bible out and say it's against Chinese national security to have a Bible? Isn't that interesting? To have a Bible that Jesus says, feed the poor, feed the hungry, be meek in spirit, be humble. If you sin, you have to repent. We're all sinners. But be still and know that you're not God. Know that the final outcome of our country is not in your hands or my hands. And he's definitely not going to side with the left because put, uh, God put Trump in office. He stopped him from being shot. Remember, they were going to give Trump 300 years, and he beat it. And all the people that said Trump did the fraud, all did the fraud. Fannie Willis, uh, uh, um, Adam Schiff got with mortgage fraud. Um, Give you an example. Mayor Bass, Gavin Newsom. Mayor Bass bought an $8.5 million home. How did you buy that after a few years in office? You came in broke. Where'd you get that money? Where did Gavin Newsom get $16 million to buy a mansion? There's a lot of people making a lot of money. Letitia James uh, did the fraud. Fannie Willis did the fraud. Nathan Wade did the fraud. Jack Smith, deranged Jack Smith, tried to. They came after Trump for putting it, checking a box saying this is under legal payments, but because they wanted him to put it under personal payments, which it's not a personal payment. The payment to Stormy Daniels was a legal payment. And they tried to put this guy in prison for 300 years, but he came back to save America anyway. God is with President Trump, his whole cabinet of Christians, devout Christians. Pete Hegseth, I just watched a Bible study yesterday from the Department of Defense. That pastor that went there was so on point. He wasn't a sellout. I remember him. They took out DEI, which is immoral, and they put in because it's reverse racism. Tell you what it is. We're going to hire you because you're black. Wow, imagine if whites put up a thing saying we're going to hire you just because you're white. Oh, well, whites have, financial privilege over the blacks for years because of this, they stole all the wealth. They don't have all the wealth now. Most people under 40, black or white, Mexican, Hispanic, can't buy a home, can't buy a car. They can't even afford to live. Some people are working two jobs. We shouldn't have let 25 million people into our country, especially in the past four and a half, the 4 years. How many millions came in under Biden? We can't afford it. You can't let in 100,000. We threw out 100,000 gang members, national security risks that have committed murder, rape, human trafficking. Human trafficking. They just stopped a U-Haul van in Arizona last week, and it had two Mexican people that don't speak English. How do you drive in the United States not speaking English? A. B. They had 16 Chinese nationals in the back of the U-Haul, trafficking them, probably to a sweat camp somewhere in America. This is the America you live in. The cities are unsafe. I've been through the cities. America needs to get back to where it was years ago. It needs to be safe and have law and order. You need to protect your police, back your military, back Trump. And remember, the Democrats hate this country. Pray against people who hate America, who hate people. They have nothing to offer but hate, untrue statements. I mean, total lies they spread. So is God with a lie? No, a lie is a sin. So the people that are lying against Trump and totally making up lies. Oh, they're going to gut Medicaid. Oh, they're going to cut. You know what? They want 1.4 million illegal immigrants off Medicaid. Yes, they shouldn't get it. Why should they get it? American citizens can't even afford to be on it. What are you going to let somebody into our country from the Congo that don't speak English and tell him, "Oh, we're going to give you free Medicaid. We're going to give you free housing. We're going to close the grammar school in Chicago, but then we're going to open it for a shelter a couple months later, and we claimed we didn't have any money, so we just put all these kids out of school, but we're housing illegal immigrants that are doing crime in the city too. Yes, some people aren't. Some people are working. But listen, if 25 million people come over and only a small percentage of them, you're talking hundreds of thousands of criminals. So Trump has a huge pray for him. Pray for your president. And pray, don't apologize for being white. Don't apologize for being black. Don't apologize for being Mexican. This is our all nation. But the illegal immigrants have to go. Sorry. I don't care. You think it's oh, it's not Christian. Well, you know it's not Christian. How about it's not fair to the old Jocelyn Lungry, Rachel, forget her last name, the ones that got murdered, raped, all the crime that's the communities that we flooded with these people, the resources. One of the hospitals in Denver said they spent $160 million the past month on illegal immigration health care. You think our hospitals could sustain this stuff? You think our schools can? You think our citizens is fair to the citizens that live in this country that are working, trying to go to school and praying and just trying to do the right thing, love Jesus? Well, get involved and start praying against the left. Specifically, pray against those who come against Donald Trump, and pray for our Supreme Court that they hear that the executive powers belong to the president, that we are getting the deep mass deportation. Is God with the mass interpretation? Absolutely, because nations have boundaries and all nations shall exalt the Lord. So the boundaries are important to God. Remember that. I hope you enjoyed this video. God bless you. I didn't mean to come off like some rattling off like some, uncompassionate, unmerciful. Because listen, I am the person that doesn't deserve God the most, but God, and in His infinite love and mercy, chose to love me. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm a mess, but He loves me, and He loves you too. And I hope that you make a right decision and accept Jesus. Don't really look to your pastors because they're pussies, most of them. Most of them, not all of them. There's a few good pastors out there, but very few. Most of them are sold out to money, TV, sold out to the 501c3, won't preach what Jesus tells them to preach because, oh, I can't, the IRS might come in and take my tax ID number. So what? You tell us to trust the Lord. Why don't you trust the Lord yourself? Give back that 501c3 tax ID number, or better yet, call Trump and explain to him why you can't preach what you want to preach on your pulpit. He'll write an executive order to do away with the 501c3 Lyndon B. Johnson Act. and put prayer. You know, prayer got taken out of school in 1968. We may need to put it back in. Everything in that. Okay, God bless everybody. Pray for our country because it's in very geopolitical and political problems. It has a lot of problems with China. We got wars to stop. Pray for the president. Pray for peace in the globe. Father, I pray for peace right now. I pray for the Ukraine war, for the war in Israel and Gaza to stop. I pray for no more bullets flying. God, stop these wars at all costs. I pray that China, BRICS, BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, Russia, and South Africa, BRICS, and these want to take away our reserve currency. Did we lose our way, Father, and go $40 trillion in debt and push our inflation to other countries? Yes. Have we done nation building and regime changes since Bush going in and invading Muslim countries sovereignly instead of going into where the Saudi pilots were? Yes, we went into these countries and destroyed them. Did we destroy Libya? Yes. Are we guilty of these things? Yes. But do they have a right now to take our reserve currency back? No, you're giving us a second chance. And Trump says he's going to put the fiscal house in order and no more shoveling out trillions of dollars. God, this money belongs to our taxpayers. It does not belong to most of the globe who's just going to laugh at you after you give it to them for DEI, for transgender movements, for eugenics, transhumanism. Lord, I pray against those things. I pray for Donald Trump, our president. I pray for the listeners that hear this message right now, that you be with all of us because we need you, God, more than we ever needed you before. You are the Lord thy God. You are all over the nations. You are over us. You are a master creator. You are a Lord God, brother. You're a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Jesus, thank you for your sacrifice on the cross, but thank you that you do honor boundaries and you do honor nations and that you were blessed. America was blessed above every nation in the globe. Why? Because it was dedicated to you, the first there's country on earth that did it. Thank God, and we're dedicated, rededicating it to you, Jesus. Amen. Have a great day, guys. God bless you.